Hello, and thank you for your interest in the Washington College Grant for Apprentices. This presentation will give a broad overview of the program and cover some of the basic qualifications that are necessary to participate. Starting off, this slide shows the focus of our agency and that of the state of Washington regarding equity. The Apprentice Grant is new to our state and broadens the reach of funding to remove additional barriers that apprentices face as they learn on the job. The state of Washington has ambitious education goals for its residents. By 2023, we are working toward having the majority of our population with a completed high school diploma and nearly three-fourths of Washingtonians obtaining post-high school credentials. Apprenticeships are another post-secondary credential that is vital to building the skilled workforce we need. With the renamed Washington College Grant, formerly known as the State Need Grant, Washington is able to help fund individuals no matter what path they choose. Previously, many apprenticeships did not qualify for traditional financial aid with the State Need Grant. The Washington College Grant has criteria that provides for a wider variety of funding entitlement for residents of Washington State. The new grant will start funding this fall. Any interested sponsors should get their application submitted to have apprentices eligible to apply for funds. Please check out our application and accompanying presentation on our webpage. The apprenticeship grant will have a separate WASAC developed application, and those who apply for it do not need to fill out the FAFSA or the WASFA. The sponsor will provide the approved application and process the application for the grant. It is important to note that criteria for obtaining the grant requires prior year income from the apprentice. For example, if an apprentice applies for a grant in January of 2021, the financial information needed would be from 2018. Some apprentices are already set up with the college, and if they have qualified for a state need grant in the past, the apprentice should continue to use the FAFSA process for those apprenticeships that qualify for traditional financial aid. It is important to understand that not every apprenticeship will need the new grant. Some apprenticeships are already set up with a college, and if they've qualified for state need grants in the past, the apprentice should continue to use that process. The apprentice will identify their family size and median family income for the year specified on the application to help determine how much Washington College Grant they are eligible for. Other factors include cost of the apprenticeship and income based on prior year earnings. The process to participate in the apprenticeship grant program requires an application and supplemental materials sent to WASAC. The application, which lists the required documents, can be found on the WASAC website. If a sponsor is approved by WASAC to participate in Washington College Grant for Apprentices, they may then begin accepting applications from participants. Once the sponsor is approved by WASAC, they will receive additional training and a manual on how to determine eligibility for apprentices. To start this process, the apprentice will fill out the Washington College Grant for Apprenticeships application. This grant is a need-based entitlement. To determine need, the sponsor will use the residency, income, household size, and program cost from the apprentice application. Once aid is determined and milestones are met by the apprentice, the sponsor will request funds from WASAC. WASAC will confirm eligibility and send funds to the sponsor. Sponsors will pay these funds to the apprentice and keep a record on transactions. We will post another presentation focused on processing and record keeping shortly. For now, let's preview those requirements. Most sponsors monitor this type of information listed on the slide for reporting purposes anyway, and will continue to do so as the apprenticeship grant is fully implemented. As part of the application to be a sponsor, they must demonstrate that all capacities are in place as part of the WASAC approval process. The apprentice will fill out the apprenticeship grant application to determine eligibility for the grant. The application was developed by WASAC, collecting required data to determine eligibility and with the intent of being accessible as possible. Please contact us if there are questions or concerns regarding the application. Thank you for joining us. If you have additional questions about the Washington College Grant for Apprenticeship, please email or call us. We are excited about this new funding source and hope that it will open doors to additional training options for working people. Thank you.